Naz from Turkey, and today I'm gonna be your moderator in this dialogue. And this dialogue is a part of our project called Through Other Eyes, and these dialogues are funded by Active Citizens Ireland and Norway. Actually, this is our fifth intergenerational dialogue. Until now, we already had panels on hate speech and negative stereotypes, gender equality, social inclusion, employment with our special guests. And today you are here to talk about human trafficking and other forms of exploitation. So before we start, I can kindly ask you to introduce yourselves with just few sentences, and while introducing yourselves, you can tell us which country are you from, because I know that we have a multicultural environment today. So maybe we can start with Naomi.
Hi everybody, so I'm Noemi, I'm from France, and I'm a communication officer.
Mm-hmm. Nice to meet you, Noemi.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elodie. I'm French. I'm a psychologist in France, and I'm an intern in CCIF in Malta.
Thank you so much, Elodie. And Peter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you. My name is Peter Mabasa. I'm from Harare, Zimbabwe, in Africa. And I'm the chairman of an organization called Cross Culture Foundation Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Tony, I don't know whether I pronounced correctly, sorry for that.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Tojna Tanasovska-Dimiškovska. I'm coming from North Macedonia. I work as a program manager in organization Open Gate La Strada. The organization is providing wide variety of direct services for victims of human trafficking, but also it works on prevention, advocacy, and lobby. So generally, for more than 20 years, the organization is providing direct support to the victims of human trafficking in North Macedonia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Noah?
Yeah, hey everybody. My name is Noah, and I'm a volunteer from CCIF since 2018. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. And Steph?
Hi, I'm Stefania from Malta, and I'm coordinator for the human trafficking services within Agencia Poch.
Thank you so much. And Marisa?
Hi everyone, I'm Marisa. Also work for CCIF, but I'm South African. I've been in Malta for about 3 years now.
Thank you so much. And lastly, Hedvig. That you are muted. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have background noise. You mute. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we can start our panel. There's just a technical issue with Hedi's microphone, I guess. Okay, my first question is for Elodie. Elodie, can you please tell us what is human trafficking?
Yeah, do you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Human trafficking is the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of people through force, fraud, and coercion with the aim of exploiting them for profit. The United Nations Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, which established the Palermo Protocol, define human trafficking thanks using the AMP model. This model breaks down the crime of human trafficking into 3 parts: action, means, and purpose. The act is what is done by the traffickers. So recruitment, transportation, harboring, or receipt of person. Secondly, the means, it's how it's done. Human trafficking is done through force, fraud, and coercion. Force could be through physical force, like violence or threat of violence. Fraud occurs through deception, tracking, or making someone else believe something other than reality. Then coercion can include any other way someone makes someone else do something, like emotional or psychological manipulation. And finally, the purpose, it's why it is done. The main purposes of human trafficking are commercial, sex, and forced labor, but it can have many forms as slavery or similar practices and removal of organs. So to conclude with this definition, when one of these actions is done with one of these means or one of these purposes, it's human trafficking.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Elodie. And now I want to ask Hedwig, what is the difference between human trafficking and smuggling?
Hi, I hope you can hear me. I'm having internet connection problems. Human trafficking involves exploitation, like Elodie has told us. And the difference between human trafficking and smuggling is that while human trafficking is exploitation based, with people who have been forced into a situation or activity against their will, human smuggling involves individuals who voluntarily consent to illegal entry in a foreign country. And also, smuggling crosses international borders and constitutes a crime against the state, whilst human trafficking is a crime against an individual.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Hedwig. And my third question is to Storine. I'm sorry for wrong pronunciation again. And my question is that, can you give us an overview of human trafficking in North Macedonia and what your organization is doing to curb it?
Yes, the Republic of North Macedonia is country of source, transit, and destination country for victims of human trafficking. And related to the profile of identified victims, mainly their children, and the age limit of victims ranging between the age of 11 to 17. Most of them are Macedonian citizens who are trafficked internally. Although the national law offers comprehensive definition for most forms of exploitation, information available confirms that sexual exploitation is the dominating form of human trafficking or combination of labor and sexual exploitation. The victims are generally exploited in nightclubs, pubs, and bars. Other forms of exploitation, which are notified in the statistic of the identified cases, are begging and forced marriages. Also, there are victims, foreign citizens, mainly from the neighboring countries such as Serbia, Albania, Kosovo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Recruiters used a variety of methods to lure victims into the human trafficking chain. And these methods range from job offers, acting like a boy in order to gain the victim's trust, and more recently, initial contacts have been established through social platforms such as Messenger, Instagram, Tinder, etc. So generally, most of the identified victims are girls, women, female. And the recruiters are well known. In most of the cases, the recruiters are well known to the victims, or they are recruited by family members or close relatives. Mainly the victims are coming from rural areas, but also there is a cases of victims who are trafficked from, who are originating from urban areas. The main concern is the identification. So generally, there is a problem with the identification, meaning that very few victims are identified per year. So which means that this is one of the bottlenecks, and early identification is an issue of concern on which additional consideration should be given. The low number of identified victims requires strengthening of human, financial, and technical capacities of relevant institutions, but also multi-agency and multidisciplinary cooperation and communication with the country and wider is an asset which can strengthen the identification process. So generally, my organization is the main service provider for the identified victims of human trafficking, and we provide variety of services such as accommodation, food, clothes, legal support, medical support, inclusion in educational process, different activities for reintegration and resocialization. Thank you. So I don't know how much time I can speak for this.
No, thank you so much. We have time for that. Yeah. Thanks for this well-detailed explain.
If I have more time, I can continue with explaining more about the vulnerability factors, or
if you want to explain, you can, of course, go on.
Okay. Yeah. So when it comes to the vulnerability factors, dominance of certain conditions in the society, particularly in rural areas such as unemployment, poverty, gender discrimination, violence, poor infrastructural connectivity with the citizens, and inaccessibility of basic education, health, and social services increase the vulnerability of children. Low economic and social status of the family associated with certain values, particularly prominent among Roma population, encourages child marriages, which often involve domestic services, sexual violence, and begging. In specific cases, the low level of education, the labor exploitation, and beggary practice are passed from one generation onto the next, and working in informal sector from a very young age are perceived as a legitimate source of income. So normalization of some practices by the society caused particular harm to specific marginalized groups. When it comes to resocialization or provision of direct services to the victims of human trafficking, the established Center for Victims of Human Trafficking and Sexual Violence, which provides safe and appropriate place for accommodation of the victims, where a comprehensive program and service for support of the victims of trafficking are implemented, is a positive outcome within the protection area of the victims. As I already mentioned, the care for people accommodated in the center is entrusted to a professional team secured by Open Gate La Strada, the NGO where I work. This team is fully committed to the issue of human trafficking, and the level of quality of services for the victims accommodated in the center is provided by a long-term work of the same civil society organization, which maintains the institutional memory and the level of quality of the services. However, I have to emphasize that more attention should be paid in regard to extension of the accommodation capacities for the victims of trafficking in human beings, which will provide separate accommodation of children and adults and possibility for accommodation according to the sex, since now we have only this one shelter for victims of human trafficking. The support for reintegration of victims is foreseen within the program for helping and supporting victims of human trafficking in the process of reintegration, and this program is established by the Ministry of Labor and Social Policy. However, the program should be sufficiently financed and supported with technical capacities in order to be fully functional in practice. active involvement also of the local self-government in the process of reintegration of the victims by the provision of adequate services, including human and financial resources, for example, including the provision of small municipality funds aimed toward primary aid can strengthen the effort of reintegration of the victims of trafficking. So I think that for now, yeah, for this entry point, yeah, I will continue later. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And my next question is for Peter. And the question is that the economic situation in Zimbabwe is very bad, leaving many people vulnerable and open to trafficking through false job promises in neighboring countries. Is there anything your organization is doing to prevent people being lured into human trafficking? Peter.
Thank you very much. Cross Cultural Foundation Zimbabwe, which is the organization that we set up in 2017, it has the express objectives to sensitize the community on issues of human trafficking and to promote self-sustaining projects for survivors of human trafficking. And we also offer reintegration assistance to survivors of human trafficking. So what we are doing currently, because of the harsh economic situation in our country, is causing a lot of young people to be lured by unscrupulous people who want to traffic the young people for various reasons, and with false promises of jobs. And so to attack that, we are doing awareness raising campaigns. Currently, we are mainly using our online media, online presence to reach out to people. But obviously, because of the COVID-19 restrictions, we cannot do face-to-face awareness campaigns with people. And so we are spreading information about human trafficking and informing the public through online platforms like our Facebook pages, WhatsApp platforms, etc., etc. We are especially targeting the youth who are especially vulnerable. And so we cover such areas as defining human trafficking. Currently, we are actually doing street interviews with just impromptu, 1-minute interviews with youth on the streets. And we are also covering issues to do with types of human trafficking. We ask people about that and how people fall victim to human trafficking. And we also talk about issues of red flags, how people in the community can identify whether somebody is being trafficked. And we also share on the online platforms survivor testimonies of people that have actually survived human trafficking. And so we also encourage the society to embrace people that have come back and they've been rescued from campaigns. We also do campaign videos through our digital platforms that we actually currently developing an application that will roll out to educational institutions, to schools, and to the general public. That's all I can say to answer the question that you have given me.
Thank you so much, Peter, for this explanation. And my next question is for Naomi. And I want to ask Naomi, what is the role of technology in human trafficking?
So before answering your question, just to point a little definition of technology, it refers to information and communication technology that allow users to exchange digital information over networks, including the internet, online social networks, and mobile phones. And it impacts social interaction, practices, and behavior of people. So today I will just focus on the use of technology by the traffickers and not by the association that fight against human trafficking. So as you probably all know, with the rise of new technologies, some traffickers have adapted their modus operandi for cyberspace by integrating technology and taking advantage of digital platforms to advertise, recruit, and exploit victims. So nowadays, internet-based trafficking has become increasingly varied, spanning from simple setup of advertising victims online to traffickers' use of communications platform to broadcasts exploitation abroad, to interacting with potential victims or transferring money between trafficking group members. So the main use of internet can be declined in 3 points. First, the recruitment. Victims are recruited through social network mainly, with traffickers taking advantage of publicity available of personal information and of the anonymity of online spaces to contact the victims. After the second point, it's the exploitation. So they use for example, they screen or they published videos of people that are victims of human trafficking on the internet. Internet can be used to broadcast or live stream act of exploitation, reaching a large base of consumers in different locations through different regions of the world. That what's happened before just in some area now happen whole wide world because of the internet. And the last point, it's advertisement. For example, traffickers can publish a job offer that looks reliable and the victim can apply to it, but after it seems it's just a trap. And after the victim are now victims of human trafficking, the other way is that they published for the consumers some advertising and the consumers more for sex exploitation. They don't know that they look for people that are victims of human trafficking. Also, there is like 2 strategies used by traffickers to target specific victim. The first one is by actively hunting those who can be considered as vulnerable people, if they can falling victim to trafficking. So they look really for a specific type of victim. And the second one is passively phishing for potential victim by posting advertisement, that's what I just said, and waiting for potential victim to respond. And that's how they attract also the victim. Just for your information, phishing is more commonly used than hunting because it's more easy for traffickers. And that's it.
Thank you for explanation, Naomi. And my next question is for Steffi now. And the question is that, can you please tell us about Agencia APOC and the role they play with regards to human trafficking in Malta?
So to give a bit of an explanation, Agencia APOC is part of the Foundation for Social Welfare Services, which is the national agency for social work services here in Malta. As an agency, we have started offering support to victims of human trafficking back in 2008, when an agreement was made with the police to assist any victims that they are currently investigating. At that point, there was only one person who was offering these services. And then since we saw there was more need of such support, in 2017, there was a restructuring of the services to the current structure we have nowadays. We even have an AMI-funded project which is called All Equal, and the aim is to support victims of human trafficking. And now we have 7 workers who work directly with victims, including myself. So our service is based on 4 aspects. Our first priority remains the protection of victims of human trafficking. We offer them safe accommodations and an individualized care plan to help them deal with their trauma and assist them to move towards independence and integration. We also felt the need to create more awareness, not only about human trafficking in general, but also to learn to recognize signs of human trafficking, especially for frontliners who might be coming across victims but are not aware that these are victims of human trafficking. And what we have seen is that many still associate human trafficking with violence and abduction. And so we work to eradicate these myths and help them more recognize what is actually happening. And we are also working more on outreach. I mean, we believe that that for victims to trust us, we need to be out there in the communities. And so the aim for such work is not only to encourage victims to come forward and talk to us, but also to equip groups that are at risk, such as migrants and sex workers, with knowledge about exploitation and where to seek support. And lastly, something that we also felt the need to work on was collaboration of the different services. So we are working on establishing a strong network between the different stakeholders here in Malta who are involved in the same in our same mission to combat human trafficking, and we create a dialogue between us to try and improve the services. So basically, that's what we do.
Thanks so much, Steph. And my next question is for Noah. And I want to ask him, Noah, you volunteered with CSAF in 2018. And how did this experience impact your life? And with regards to eradication of human trafficking, what are you doing that will impact other people's lives?
Yeah, so I volunteered for CCIF back in 2018. It was a really important part in my life, to be honest. I changed completely, like my whole personality changed because CCIF had a really big impact on me. I was a kid when I came to Malta in 2017, and CCIF taught me something. It taught me that someone's coming in. It taught me that the world is not just a happy place. It taught me that the world can be so much worse than you expect. Like, I'm from Germany, and for example, when I came back from Malta, some people asked me, what did you do in Malta? And I was like, I work for CCIF, it's a human trafficking organization. And they were like, what's human trafficking? Because in Germany, no one knows anything about human trafficking, to be honest. I mean, we have a lot of cases, like criminal cases about rapes, something like that, but we don't know anything about human trafficking. So when I came back, I told some people, look, this is human trafficking. And they were like, oh, okay, didn't know that. And I was like, this is your whole reaction? Like, really, is it, this is your reaction? Just an okay? Because it's not okay, it's worse. You can do something against it. Open your eyes, you can go, tell your family, tell your friends, but do something against it. It's so bad. And these people are just, to be honest, the Germans are like, I don't care because it doesn't affect me, you know? And people who think like that, I don't know what to say, to be honest. So basically, that's what I meant when I said CCIF opened my eyes. I was a kid, I came from Germany. The conditions in Germany are really good. You go to school, you go to university, and then you have a good job. That's it. That's your whole life. And then you go to job till you're 60. That's your life in Germany. When there are problems in the world, you don't know that. It's like, oh, okay, I don't care because it doesn't affect me. and that's it. So yeah, when I came to Malta, it really opened my eyes, because now I can see the world. I don't just see one country like Germany, I see the world. I see there are people who need help. So when I came back from CCIF, I needed some time to calm down a bit, because I was back in Germany. I was like, okay, I don't want to be here. But I know, and I knew it to know, I want to help other people. And that's what I do right now. I try to open some eyes from other people. Like, I tell them, listen, the world is like this, and don't be selfish, don't be German, don't be like that. You can do better, you can do so much better. And when I went to America in 2019 to visit a friend, I told him about the organization, and then he told me, yeah, here in Miami we have so much human trafficking cases as well. So we wrote an article and sent it to the US Today, to the big newspaper, and they published an article, and I'm really proud of it because it's a really big deal to have an article in the US Today newspaper. I can show you just a newspaper, but I can't read it because it's a really big article. But yeah, I'm really proud of it. But sometimes you need to know, for you, it's just a little thing, but someone has to speak out. Like, if I didn't wrote this article, for example, it wouldn't be in the newspaper, and other people wouldn't read it in the morning while breakfasting. So for you, it's just a small step, but for other people, it's something big. Like, you can open someone's eyes just by have a work for 5 minutes or 15 minutes, and that's it. Even right now, I have to do some university stuff, but I always said to Alec, no, I want to be part in this human trafficking organization. I worked for Alec in 2018. I was in Malta 1 week ago for the first time after 3 years. And I told Alec and Hedy, listen, you're a really good company. I want to work for you for free. Like, I do this for free. I don't want any money. I just want to do some good things. And I know Alec and Hedy, and this is a good family. It's my family, to be honest. It's my Maltese family. And they are so good people, and they don't earn any money because of that. And after 3 years, I visited Alec, and now he has 2 jobs. He has CCIF, and he has to drive a taxi from 3 p.m. to 12 p.m. He's a good human. And there are rich people in this world who have billions of euros and don't do anything. And they don't even have to work. And then there are good people like Alec who have 2 jobs just to take care of his family and to take care for humanity. And that, yeah, that's what I can say about CCIF. So it's a really good company. And you can be part of it just by, you can work for free there and be a part. For example, just work for them like once a month, and that's it. They don't expect much from you. They just need some help, and that's it. You can help them, and by helping them, you help humans.
Thank you so much, Noah, for explaining your experiences. And Anna is here. Can she hear us? I don't know. Maybe she would about to say hi.
Yes, I'm here. I really apologize. I was having technical difficulties, so I'm actually in my car. So I apologize. So I'm about to turn my camera on. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm here. Thank you for having me, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Anna, maybe you can introduce us yourself, and then I can ask you your question.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, of course. So I'm Anna Patak, and I'm currently based in the US. So I've known Alec since 2014. I don't know. I consider them my spiritual parents. So been partnering with CCIF since then. So I work in a lot with establishing the link between pornography and sex trafficking, as well as working in ethical fashion design, those kinds of things. So my role varies with CCIF, but I've been working with them for several years now, and they have my heart forever. So.
Thank you. And my question is that what is the link between pornography and human trafficking, and what can NGOs do to raise awareness on this link?
Yeah, of course. So it's interesting when you ask what is the link, because I'd say within the past 5 to 8 years, people really started understanding that there was a link. And before that, people were like, there's no link, there's no link. So the link is that what some people, if you're new to this, may not understand is that the way that pornography affects the brain establishes a link. So when you watch porn, your brain responds to that the same way that it does with drugs. And so when you're watching softcore porn and stuff like that, eventually that doesn't do the trick for you. So then you need to watch more hardcore porn, and that doesn't do it for you anymore. And then eventually you start buying people. And so that's why we see the ages go down when it comes to trafficking. So maybe they'll buy an 18-year-old and they're like, oh, that's not enough for me. So then they buy a 16-year-old, and we go down and down and down until we get to the babies, which breaks my heart because I'm a new mom. And so I can't imagine buying a little baby. You're an evil human being if you do that. So that's one link. And then also pornography is often used as a grooming tactic to enter like more in prostitution. And so sometimes there's that link, but the big link is that you have the commercial element of purchasing sex through like you're purchasing a human and stuff like that. So there's a huge link. It's very distinct. And it's just interesting that so many people didn't understand the link. But then again, so many people didn't understand that human trafficking was a thing, until the past decade or so. So it's just, it's a really great question to ask, because it's a conversation we need to continue to talk about, especially after we're seeing more and more children being trafficked online or having predators online. A lot of stuff is done on the web now, and like websites like Pornhub, Backpage, a lot of these things. So the more we're seeing stuff online, the more we really need to be concerned about human trafficking and pornography. And then you also asked, what can people do to get involved? I think the big thing is like talking with youth about the dangers of online, but also talking about pornography. And, it's a very taboo topic. You don't want to, as a parent now, I'm trying to think about how I'll have the conversation with my child about pornography, because it's a hard one. And, but when you think about it from a public health standpoint, like I was talking about with the brain issue, that's how you can introduce it to your children and talk about it and say, like, not, telling them not to watch it, but saying this is like the issues. You can also, if you do have a pornography, if you struggle, I don't like to say someone has an addiction because I don't want to speak that over them. But if someone struggles with watching pornography, there's different organizations like Covenant Eyes. They're in the US, and you can buy a filter software. So it has an accountability where someone else can see what you're looking at. So that's something else that they could do. But the biggest weapon right now is talking about it, because so many people, like, there's this thing of like, oh, you did porn, that's sexy or that's hot. But then when you do, but then like, if you think about it from like, oh my gosh, this person was tricked or forced or coerced into it, then we start seeing it as a crime. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna, for this explanation. Yeah. And my next question is to Naomi again. And I want to ask Naomi, how is it going in France? Can you briefly tell us how about going on in human trafficking situation in France?
So I will give you some key figures, but first of all, France is also affected by the phenomenon of human trafficking, but more not as a country of origin of the victims, but as a destination country. And at the transit country as well. Just for your information, France ratified the Convention of the Suppression of the Traffic in Person and of the Exploitation of the Prostitution of Others in 1960. And in 2004, ratified the Palermo Protocol, among other conventions. So the government is quite focused on this problem as well. For you to have some key figures, there's like more of 6,000 victims that have been identified by the association, and less than 3,000 are monitored by some association in France. There is mostly women, more than 80%, or adults, more than 90%. 75% of those identified are victims of sexual exploitation.
Hello, Malta. Welcome to the Toes Through Other Eyes concert hosted by CCIF Malta and funded by the Active Citizens Fund of Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway through EEA and Norway grants. And from here, we will give it to the hands of the DJ and drummer.
Hello, Malta. I go by the name DJ Sparkling Sam. On the hands, on the drums, Mr. Hands. On the hands, Mr. Drums. Yes, this set is called DJ and Drummer. What we do is technically we share good music. And we believe that with this talent that we have, we can help out in human trafficking in one way or the other. Music connects a lot of people. Music talks differently. Music is something that talks more than music itself. Less of the talking, more of the music. Are you ready, Mr. Hans? Let's get it on.
safari, ujana ni maji ya moto, wanile naga zamani. Bili tumetoka mbali, matatizo changamoto, visa furani. Hey, utatu kidonda chako kwangu maradhi, matusononekapo kwangu simanzi. Ay, tatu kidonda chako kwangu maradhi, onyani usononekapo kwangu simanzi. Kwa mahaba unonipa, nimenogewa, vurugu patashika, ay, punguza kidogo, na mingine kadhalika, toto sunanielewa. Hapo hapo liposhika, ukiongeza kidogo, ni mwenza hotamjua. Sweetie, sweetie, number one, my baby, you're number one, my God, number one, roho yangu mama, my sweetie, sweetie, number one, my baby, you're number one, oh, roho yangu mama. Tai, na wivu sikatai, maana uchungu wa mapenzi na ujua, so usije kunilagai, kaja kuzama ukanizingua. Na wivu sikatai, maana uchungu wa mapenzi na ujua, so usije kunilagai, mwenzio naogopa, now show me how they do.
Day
when we look at human trafficking, we always think that it's far from us. But sometimes it's not. It could be you tomorrow, it could be me. But human trafficking is a scourge, a crime against the whole of humanity. It is time to join forces and work together to free its victims and to eradicate the crime that affects all of us, from individual families to the whole world community. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ and drama, let's go.
Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown.
No matter where you go, remember the road that will lead you home. That will lead you home. That will lead you
As we proceed, if we truly want to have world peace, we have to end human trafficking. just on Mars. Slavery is weed that grows on every soil. Edmund Burke. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ and drama continues.
This is another Tolio for my man. Make I tell you waiting happen for a bullet. But this big party inside my bullet. I went there with my best friend Kule. Kule they there with his girlfriend Shile. Ghetto girls them they like Takasufi. So many pretty girls they inside my mule. I just they wonder say which can party everything yakba, everything there. Oh shit, I get many girls with them they come from away. AJ boys and they like to throw away. Almost go be. We just having fun. We won't carry on. Crazy girls like make this stallion. But my girlfriend they turn me on. That's why I hold on tight. Hold on, yeah. Hold on tight. Hold on.
Ukweletse mapara a jazz.
Slavery is theft of a life, theft of work, theft of any property or produce, theft of children. A slave might have born Kelvin Bells. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to CCIF for coming up with the initiative and Activate Citizens Funds for sponsoring this concert. Thank you very much. As we proceed, enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. My name is DJ Sparkling Sam, and on the drums, Mr. Hans, all the way from Malawi. Thank you very much for watching. And a big shout out to CCIF for coming up with this initiative. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, big up the governments that support this full time. CCIF Malta, love you guys. Let's go, lads.
Chibambaira.
Yo, 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 yo.
Chibambaira.
King forward.
Chibambaira.
Big up man at Natty O. Get ready.
Let's go. Hey. Careful when you step in the session, there's a dozen landmine in them lies. Sure. This is not a drill, this is real. Make one wrong step, you'll ignite. Hey. Take over your senses, you're defenseless. We go hard, we're relentless, and it's just the beginning of a long night. So I suggest that you get your mind right. Hey. It's go time, now it's showtime. Time to kick rhymes designed to blow minds. No time for fun, no time for games. More time for winners, no time for lames. Swinging for the fences relentlessly. Ravage the scene like a tempest. It's gonna be a wild ride.
So I hope that you get your mind right.
Chibambaira. We about to blow in the city on a mission with a slaughter, we're winning.
Chibambaira.
Turn up the vibe on the rhythm, we are make you feel high on this rhythm.
Chibambaira.
Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira, chakutuka muno.
Chibambaira.
Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira.
Kiss to the city, ticket is sticky. Apana noche mesa, tell him what a calamity, but you putika, boom. What a pity, see, anywhere the team go, ticket is sticky.
We put a fire for fire, hotter than the city, Madiri Cabana. Blow in the city, they know we are forward, so that's right.
Hey, big boy step in, huh. Show them the bright light. Me want like the whole of place, got the time right. Got fat me corner, so you know we alright. But if you put it up a stick of a chat,
put a fire for fire, hotter than the city, Madiri Cabana. Blow in the city, they know we are forward, so
that's right.
Big up Natty O. We about to blow in the city and a mission with a slaughter, we're winning. Turn up the vibe on the rhythm, we are make you feel high on this rhythm. Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira. Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira.
When we come through, cake tunes, lyrical kung fu like Jet Li and Bruce Lee. They with now T.O. the boy. It is the mind, you'll blow and ceilings. When we step on the rhythms, we're dangerous. We hazard us to the mic, we cancerous. Radioactive, DJs playing us. We get the crowd high like we're angel dust. Hey! Move fast, live dust when we pass. Boy, can't chat this to register trademark. Yeah, but man can only pass the remark. Pinocchio knows when they lie, we advance. Hey, we just making music, making excuses. Either way, there's some hand dance. Back pep on the rhythm, but you know shoot. Blowing up the best cup and take one.
Chibambaira. We about to blow in the city on a mission with a slaughter, we're winning.
Chibambaira.
Turn up the vibe on the rhythm, we are make you feel high on the rhythm.
Chibambaira.
Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira.
Chibambaira.
Chakuputika muno, Chibambaira.
Chibambaira.
Yes, I.
Chibambaira.
Yo, do you want to tell them what it means though?
It's a long story, man. It's a long story.
Long story.
Follow me in the DMs, Shadows, and we'll explain it to you what it means.
Yeah, alright.
Shadows in the building.
Chibambaira.
Man like Craig.
Yeah.
Chibambaira.
Chakuputika muno. Yeah, there's an explosion out here on TOES through others' eyes. Yeah.
Traffickers deserve it, man.
Yeah, we're coming for all your traffickers out there. We're coming for your necks, yo.
Shadows in the building.
Shadows in there.
Shadows in the building.
Shadows in there.
Shadows in the building.
Shadows in there.
We got all your drinkers in the place, eh?
Catch the rhythm, catch the vibe tonight. We about to turn it up. Come join us on this
she is drinking. Pretty girl, how are you this evening? Lots would you like to hang with me tonight? Just got off the 9 to 5
That's
grind.
right.
I just need to unwind.
That's right.
Got this feeling inside this contagious. Make you catch that vibe on the dance floor. Dancing as if it's soft core, porn at the making. In a home zone, never mind the rate, I let them make more. And there's no feeling, no pressure from the world. Cause I do know God won't give me more than I can handle. Feel like the man though, hotter than a candle. Get those shackles off your feet, let's go.
Catch the rhythm, catch the vibe tonight. We about to turn it up, come join us on this ride. We'll make you feel alright, we'll make you have a good time. So come and rock with us tonight. We got the rhythm, we got the vibe tonight. We in control, we about to make you feel alive. And we go move your soul. We got the vibe to make you lose control.
From the moment we stepped in, it's clear that we are the best thing. Y'all them find we so interesting, and the big man say we them investing. Now check the vibes that we bring through. We are the good times crew. When we get the girl in the mood, get the whole of them feeling good.
So they should.
Nah, this party's turning up. Flows back tight, the dancers getting serious.
Lord, this place is scandalous now.
The people moving, get them caught up with the grooving. Not stop till the sun come up, get the sound unlocked.
We never losing, cause
catch the rhythm, catch the vibe tonight. We about to turn it up, come join us for this ride. We'll make you feel alright, we'll make you have a good time. So come and rock with us tonight. We got the rhythm, we got the vibe tonight. We in control, we about to make you feel alive.
What you say?
And we gon' move your soul. We got the vibe to make you lose control.
Give me that. Alan whiskey, Alan whiskey, Alan whiskey, give me Alan whiskey, Alan whiskey, give me Alan whiskey, Alan whiskey.
with the gin and tonic, bro. Well, tonight it's more like
gin and tonic.
It's vodka and soda tonight, sir.
Yeah, give me that. Vodka and soda.
Vodka and soda tonight, sir.
Yeah.
Soda's in the building.
So just to quickly explain the song, that song is called Alan Whiskey, right? It's called Alan Whiskey, and we call ourselves the Good Times Crew. And if you want to have a good time, get yourself some Alan Whiskey, please. Just press play, my brother. No. Get your freak on. Just press play. Sure. Woo! It's hot in here.
Pick up everybody tuned in right now. Like the man said a million times, we're the shortest.
Hey, you're sweating now.
Hello. I was jumping up and down. What you talking about?
What you saying now?
Hey! Remix! Hey! Shortest remix here now.
This is that news.
Let's go!
This is that news.
Let's go!
This is that news.
Let's go!
Every time they see me, they might ask me where they party at. If you asking, then it's obvious it hasn't started yet. We can kick it any minute, all we need is just a rhythm. We can elevate your mood, leave you with a good feeling now. We got the vibe, we can set your soul alight. Keep it tight when we on the mic, fire we ignite. Got the remedy, you can see it in the energy. We not beg no friend, now we on the enemy. Stay high, cruising in a different galaxy. Me and Slots, top class, perfect synergy. I am sharpening, I am with the best that you go see. Never free, if you wanna boogie, off you pay the fee. SP shots, baddest on the block. So don't area, do it round the clock. 8 times off the 8, living them in shock. If you know by now that we got the thing.
Hey! Cold red, shot us run riot off, hit him or dead. Pick him off one by one from close range. Any boy vex can catch the verbs ends. Let me know underdog from the dog shed. Slide when we rhyme like Jamaican bobsled. But there's still Melbourne into your rival. We're working, we never idle now. And you will let got more bars than Livia. Lyrics encyclopedia. Sound of familiar, hustle till I get millions. Girl, I'm feeling ya, last thing to feeling ya. That guy Slots follow me on social media. Not good vibes, but I have a side city. Yin yang, my life in equilibrium. bad mind, them taking at the cranium.
Who's that bitch? People you know.
For a long time things have been below par, but it's time we change around ya. Seems like a circus, so if a clown run around ya. In a no funny business, don't come ya. Better know me slicker than Ebola. Plus I got a diploma. So if you come violate me, not hesitate to retaliate.
That right there is what we call a headshot.
Sounds serious, man. It sounds serious.
It ain't about no violence, it's just about lyrical murder, you know. Yeah, so we're gonna sign out. Shout out to the people in the house right now. We've got a few friends in the building. Chubby Dice, Craig. Yeah, it's been fun, man.
They in our bubble, by the way. They in our bubble.
They are in our bubble. It's safe. Everything is safe and secure, trust me. This is through others' eyes. Awareness against, you know, human trafficking. Yo, we don't endorse it. We are the Shutters. Out of Melbourne, Australia, signing out. The last song is featuring our good friend Yao Fasa, who can't be here today.
Lockdown, lockdown.
But we're gonna run it still.
Hey! Shutters in the building.
Shutters in the
one life. Live it responsibly, just remember to hold the vibe.
Listen,
let's go.
Yeah. Been a long year now, we look on summer. Me and the team kick back and cool it. Smoke kush, drink up in the sun, and we have to link up with Shelly and Susan. Vibes up to the top when we touch a spot. Rude boy and the girl, them lose it. Man, I top class colors with the cream of the crop. Pretty dancer, queen, them a move it. It's a vibe when we ride. Strictly good times, no need to go fast and fight. Pass a move if you feel good. Quack catch a wine or even electric slide. Let go of the stress, get down if you're ready. 2 steps deep, time for rock steady. Pull a selector, got the tune sound nice, yeah. The tune sound nice, yeah.
Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it down. Body so light, never turn it round. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing bullshit now. Summer like a movie, so cool it. Been a long year, now we hold the vibe, yeah.
I do not need clothes that are overpriced. Nah. Just a drink in my hand plus greens, I will hold the vibe. See, find a pretty young queen, I will hold it overnight. True, life is short but the journey long, so I live in overdrive. See, tomorrow's not promised no matter how much you prepare. Sometimes just roll the dice. Enjoy the moments in life, do what you prefer. Indulge your favorite vice. Love to see the girls with good skin. Okay. Whining contest I'm in. Hey, once call your feet in your home with your lowered eyes.
Hey. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing push it now. Summer like a movie, so cool it down. Body so light, then I'll turn it round. Bring a bad vibe, we go shoot it down. Wish you more life, nothing push it now. Summer like a movie, so cool it. Been a long year, now we hold the vibe, yeah. Life been a block up for a while.
Yeah.
You have to break free, alright. Now, hold up, now we taking flights.
Yeah.
It's a party in my city, all the vibe. Yeah. No bad energy coming out about the commotion. Get dance for me life, be all about the devotion.
What you saying, Yao Fasa?
Tell me what is your motive?
Don't we move it kind of fun to get the body back in motion.
We not be act like we too hard. Behind the top, me got the backs on me shooters. He got the vision for the team, then it's all love. 2020 ain't done, so let's roll up. Double using on me vision now. Me I go take what I deserve to get me life on a better route. In on me ears, seen a turn around. So tonight we are go the vibe.
Yes. So thank you for holding a vibe with us. It's been fun. Yeah, yeah. All right. Big up to everyone that's been tuned in. We go by the Shutters. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy all the other performances. I know they're going to be just as good, if not better. Not. Anyway, yeah, have a good night. Boom. Greetings, we go by Shatters out of Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, and this is Toes representing, all ethnicities overseas. And we're going against human trafficking, but anyway, we're not going to talk too much. Got a few songs for you, so here we go. The first song is called Make It Work. As you can see, we don't have a DJ today. We're in lockdown in Australia, so we got to make it work. Right, this is the first song.
Yeah, we can make it work. Vibes up. We can make it work. Vibes up. What you saying now? Shadows in the building. Shadows in the. Hey. Everybody in the place that you dance when I hold the mic. Why? Got it right in your head and your heart make your soul ignite. Feel real. When you pushing at the air, somebody definitely on the party. Who that? So good just as long as you go pass it over here. Good if you pass it over here. Tonight it's on, I'm like a werewolf. That's hormone, anything goes, I might break the rules. Sound is bumping, girls whining, we all wildin'. Man, is nothing to lose. Pictures snapping, hashtag YS, we trending. King K, internet, we breaking. Vibes up, no signs are landing. No signs of ending. We can make it work, even if we only have one speaker. We can make it work, we can make it work. See the goddamn twerk. We can make it work, we can make it day or night, night or day. We can make it work, we can make it work. We can make it work. When the thing turn up, me and the squad, we get it lit up. In a business out, the place set up. Why we a lift up? It could be a club or house party, we still link up. Liquor we drink up. So if you see me set up, put up in the place, it's time to celebrate. Never mind the bad, mind them on the ring. We only want to link up with some girls, kick back, conversate. Only positive vibes, we walk astray. And if my eyes are red, I'm not mad. I be up on the next level, straight love and light. We don't mind to the hypocrite, parasite. Pick up to my circle, guarantee that we are keep it tight. Mr. Selector, could you play some young shatter? Now them looking nice, you know we're looking proper now. We gonna mash it up, Baka can we smash it up? If the venue nice, we smash it up, smash it up. Even if we only have one speaker, we can make it work, we can make it work. See the goddamn twerk, we can make it work, we can make it day or night, night or day. We can make it work, we can make it work, make it work. We can make it work, hey. Everybody in the place that you dance when I hold the mic. Why? I got it right in your head and your heart make your soul ignite. Feel real? When you pushing at the air, somebody definitely on the party. Who that? Good just as long as you go pass it over here. Good if you pass it over here. Tonight it's on. So we can make it work, even if we only have one speaker. We can make it work, we can make it work. See the goddamn twerk. We can make it work, we can make it day or night, night or day. We can make it work, we can make it work, make it work, make it work. We can make it. Hey. Everybody in the place start to dance when I hold the mic. Start it right in your head, in your heart, and your soul ignite. We can make it, we can make it work. We can make it, we can make it work.
Yes, I. So if you don't know, this is all about human trafficking. This is anti-human trafficking. It's a scourge on society, you know. Alright, so we'll keep it moving. The next song is called Tell Them. And we're just going to keep it moving.
Yo. Shadows in the building. Ready? Level up.
Now we cruising up in the stratosphere.
Headle up.
Cause the shutters make the baddest atmosphere.
Never stop.
Till we banging up in everybody's ear.
We on top.
We're not coming down. This is our year. Tune up your stereo. Fix up your stereo. Vibing on a different frequency, but you already know. Shutters on a mission. Every tunes is what we're bringing now. Sending out the energy from Zimbabwe to Senegal. Been rocking shows for a minute. In case it wasn't evident, sky is our limit. We about to reach it pretty soon. We'll exceed it. We top of the class.
Number one seeded. Hey, with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Tell them with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Man steady like on 3 feet, up on another level yet I'm needed. In the grind with lyrics are crushing these beats, bringing vibes positive like the heavy did. Consolidating our possession on this MC list. Walking us set to we say the hill is stiff. With buzzing the loops we're playing on repeat. Shadows in the building make a big shit. Hey. With the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Tell me, with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Hands on my property, they say monopoly. No, I don't bring baby charm with my delivery. I don't the MIC in a different category. Lyrics filling infinite inventory. Working the bars like we do it is gym. Ladies love his style, we love them curvy or slim. Long term road, they dance like Bugaberry Jim. What you saying? But I know one thing, which is with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Tell him with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. Hey, listen, level up. Now we cruising up in the stratosphere. Cause the shutters bring the baddest atmosphere. Never stop till we banging up in everybody's head. We on top, we're not coming down. This is our year. Level up. Now we cruising up in the stratosphere. Settle up. Cause the shutters bring the baddest atmosphere. Never stop till we banging up in everybody's head. With the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. They can't ever bring us down. Tell them with the cream of the crop, on another level, never gonna flop. They can't try, they can't ever bring us down. No, they can't ever bring us down. Tell them, woo, tell them what you say now. What you say, tell me nice. You have to tell him what you say in grace. Hey, we have to tell him. Yes, I. Yeah, so you tuned into Through Others' Eyes. You know, like I said, this is about human trafficking. This is an awareness campaign. We're trying to bring it to awareness that every day people are making money on the lives of other humans. And now, right, yo. What's our next track? Pre them. So this is our ode to the haters. I can see them pointing and staring. With them bad mind eyes, them are glaring. They would have loved to see us fall. They full of negativity is clear for us to see. Still them continue caring. With them watchful eyes, them glaring. Don't want to see us stand up tall. Hey, what you say now? But we not breed them now. Let's be clear, we not breed them now. We not have time for no ages now. We have to keep it moving, have it built for sure. Hey, but we not breed them now. Have to make it clear, we not breed them now. We not have time for no ages now. We have to keep it moving, have to run the show. Bad mind would have wish us dead. They will rather we gon' lose our bread. But we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation to keep riding instead. Hey, bad mind would have wish us dead. They will rather we gon' lose our bread. But we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation to keep riding instead. Hey, if you don't like the way I do things, my old men go and do better. Hey boy, it's your own problem. If you are more confident, feel like I am your letter. Hey boy, got your eye on me like a cyclops. Right now you need eye drops. Rounded while we fly past. If they know we got the mind us. Bad mind would always trust it. They will rather we gon' lose our bread. But we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation to keep riding instead. Hey, bad mind would alwish us dead. They would rather we go lose our bread, but we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation, right? Every day man hustling hard, so it took God won't set up for the fit. And when playtime come, you find me in the dance going hard, moving this to left it. So when I breathe them now, say what you want to say, you won't change my ways, cause man gon' free you now. Do my own things, you can keep your chains. Somehow bad mind go that wish us dead. They would rather we go lose our bread, but we would never let them mash up we head. We get motivation to keep riding instead. Hey, bad mind would that wish us dead. They would rather we go lose our bread, but we would never let them mash up we head. We get motivation riding instead. I hear fake news, they keep spreading. Side of emoji, they look perfect. Stuck in your on Instagram, crapping up a rope, can they pull you down? Hey, when they say you, they keep staring. How you sleep, I'll still be waiting. Happy when they say you fall, I just push it to fight, keep moving on. That's all. Hey, so when I breathe them down, let's be clear, when I breathe them down. We not time for no ages now. We have to keep it moving, have to build for sure. Hey, but when I breathe them down, hey, I have to make it clear when I breathe them down. When I breathe down, time for no idiots now. We have to keep it moving. What you saying there? Bad mind would that wish us dead. They would rather we go lose our bread, but we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation to keep riding instead. Hey, bad mind would that wish us dead. They would rather we go lose our bread, but we will never let them mash up we head. We get motivation riding instead. Hey, shadows in the area, we not pray them. Bad mind people, stay far from we. Yes, I. Now the traffic as well. Get out of here. Sure.
Yeah, shout out to the CCIF Malta family for putting this together. All the governments involved in bringing this awareness to light. Big up to yourselves. We go by the Shadows based out of Melbourne, Australia. We're going to keep it moving. It is ready.
We make it work still, Sid. 1 DJ, 0 DJs, 2 MC. It works. Let's go. Ready. Hey. Waistline step, swing to the cider. Beer in a cup, some holding a cider. Girl looking good in a body rider. Rude boy, then a looking shabby neither. Dance full of trends, rush our computer. Big tune playing, make everybody bust a rocker. Cause the one bad DJ, two shooter. Turn it up, turn the place to a pressure cooker. Vibes up, everybody feeling nice. Burn City bus and dance the chubby dice. Burn live big, whatever your price. All I know is the money come out, will never go give voice. Feel the energy, people making noise. Ready boys, if I need to look at nice. Tomorrow no bill will catch me by surprise. What you saying now? We on the night. We have all the vibes to make you feel alright. So come and rock with us tonight. Music gets you high. We on the night. Yeah. When we step up on the scene, chip on the shoulder, walk with the lead, smile like a million, fresh and clean. Dance moves killing them 2 steps please. We got the vibe, big man flow. Do it for the tribe, we lock the show. Love how the girl them a wine like slow to the sound of the stallion. Big time pro. Hey, got the remedy, shutters in control. Run things non-stop on the road. Got the reins and we never let it go. On a mission we are moving, pushing harder than before. Vibes up, the motor for the crew. Feed the family, have a lot to prove. Happy show the youth a better way to move, so we keep it on 100. We on the night. We have all the vibes to make you feel alright. Yeah, so come and rock with us tonight. Music gets you high. We on the night. Yeah. We on the night. We have all the vibes to make you feel alright. Yeah, so come and rock with us tonight. Music gets you high. disgrace it when I broke. Start up a girl with only a word hello. She went from love your music catalog to my cologne to wanna jump my bones. But hold on, girl. First, show me your most bonded dance flow. Like an audition, I'm ready on the front row. Wind your waist, demonstrate your body control. Now everybody in the dancer, we on the, we ever the, to make you feel alright. Yeah, so come and rock with us tonight. Music gets you high. Just come and rock with us. Yeah, we on the night.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so we go by the shouters out of Melbourne, Australia, once again.
Yeah.
This is Toes Through Others' Eyes. Just trying to make you see what it's like. Okay, I don't know if we can make you see what it's like, but we're trying to
Make them
raise
away.
awareness.
Make them away.
Line ho, uyu line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru. Line ho,
ho, uyu line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru. Kukacha mama wa amatengadzaje, kusesa pakomo pamaivaje.
ugaja mama,
Early morning,
amatengadzaje,
kusesa pakomo lamaiwake.
magolo wali, amuyamikira,
akuti line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru.
magolo wali, amuyamikira,
akuti line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru. Line ho, uyu line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru.
Tinde, ting 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 tinde, tinde tin tan tan tan, tin tin tan tan, tin tin tan tan, tin 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 tan, tin tan tan tan, tin tin tan tan. Line ho,
uyu line lelo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru.
agire gogo wana madingo, namuyamikira, kuti na madingo mwana mene, mwana wanzeru. Agire gogo wana madingo, namuyamikira,
kuti na madingo mwana mene,
mwana wanzeru.
simukuna magogo,
tawizina
ni malota ine, bambo wanga tandisia
ndasalandeka. Tawizina
mwe ni malota ine, bambo wanga tamwalira
ndasalandeka. Gondo mama, gondo une mama mwe,
gondo
mama chalamanda
tafera mwenda we. Gondo mama, gondo une mama mwe, gondo mama chalamanda utafera mwenda we.
Nangomva mbiliyo, mbili tumaona lelo. Nangomva mbiliyo, tumaona lelo. Agidesi aimbaye, zogoma tumaona lelo.
Ndipo chalamanda aimbaye, zogoma tumaona lelo.
Ndamva kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana woyera, zina lache Musolo.
Unamva kwa ndani kuti ndakwatira.
Ndamva kuti mwakwatira mwabala mwana woyera, zina lache Musolo.
Nangopanga chinkoso kwati nzakuitana
Musolo,
Musolo mai. Musolo mai.
mai waje ndikufuna ndipite nawo ku UK. Mwana amene ndamai waje ndikufuna ndipite nawo ku UK. Maphunziro onse akaphunzire ku UK. Maphunziro onse aphunzire ku UK.
Namva gogo namva komatimbeko chemeri kunali chemeri kunali chemeri
mama mwe
iya meri mwe iya dale kunali chemeri iya meri mwe iya dale chemeri ibekubuko mapacha iya meri mwe iya dale kunali chemeri
akafuna kunenana
akidesi inabwana tabwera nikuno
akafuna kunenana
chalamanda inabwana tabwera nikuno
akafuna kunenana
akidesi inabwana tabwera nikuno. Sinali choncho kale nthawi ya Napolo wachabe Napolo wachabe
tengai ngalamu ukataya kumtenga kutuma kaidi ukatola pobwela dona nalila mai we wachabe Napolo wachabe
timalize ndi Buffalo Soldier Buffalo to America Buffalo Soldier Buffalo to America.
When I was a young boy
I dreamed to the in America.
When I was a young boy
I dreamed to the in America. Oi 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 kachigena so agide oi 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 oi. If I had much money I go to see in America. If I had much money I go to see in America. Oi 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 oi. Omaliza gite oi.